first get introduced to him as an audience, it appears on the surface that here's a normal guy who you said seems to be pretty successful at work, seems to do all right with the ladies, and it's only until his sister comes into this very private, very sort of almost sort of OCD environment that he lives in terms of his sort of compulsions, that we realize sort of how out of control of a habit that he's got, and how sort of destructive his life is, and how his relationships are all unhealthy. The relationship with his boss, and how much of a sort of lonely man that this guy actually is, and how much of a damaged character he is. Sometimes when you're doing period pieces, then it's a different thing, because they wore different clothes, and sometimes the clothes also reflected an etiquette that was at work of the time. With Brandon's clothes, I have somewhat of an input. It wasn't like major for me. I just wanted him to be sort of as normal as possible. He needs to look good, but I didn't think that he was anybody that really wanted to stand out too much. So you just try different clothes on, you look at them and you think, that seems like something he would wear, and I don't know, that's sort of an intuitional thing, having sort of read the script, and you get an idea of the character, but you put them on for sure. Shoes, for me, are usually the most important, and if the shoes that the character wears, essentially, because, the walk is important, and the physical life of the character, and so much comes through the feet. I've been lucky, I suppose, because of this business, to sort of get nice clothes, but I'm pretty sort of ignorant when it comes to fashion, really. I'm kind of sort of, I don't know what sort of style you would put me down as. It's pretty relaxed at the moment. I find that obviously there's certain sort of types of sort of clothing that I would that I prefer on a woman, but for me it's more sort of about confidence and what the sort of woman likes to wear. I wouldn't really bother me that much if I don't like this sort of fashion sense. If she's happy and she's sort of rocking it and has a confidence with it, then I find that attractive. So that's kind of how I feel about that one. I have a production company at the moment, so I do sort of produce things. But hopefully at some point I'll be able to sort of do 1/10 of sort of the job that Steve or any number of these directors that I've had the real sort of pleasure and privilege to be working with. It is something that I like. I like talking to actors, and I like sort of visually telling a story. I see things quite visually as when I'm sort of telling a story myself. I'm a very visual person, so hopefully.